Well, how y'all doing? Real quick update. Got the body back on this thing. Bed's bolted down, cab's bolted down, steering's connected, it steers. Still got to add a panhard bar, but I can't do that until it's got an engine setting on it and got weight on it, so I know where the ride height's going to be. Excuse me. So yeah, the brakes are done. They work. I bled them. Got all 4 brakes working. The front 2 stick a little bit, but they do work. I'm worried that I got to put the brake pedal in there and also got to move it over 3 inches and maybe figure out something different for a brake pedal. And what I'm noticing is I might not have enough levers to put enough force on that rod to push in the master cylinder, so I might have to actually just build me a brake pedal that comes up through the floor off of that arm that I got under there. The master cylinder ain't there no more. The master cylinder's way up here, kind of right in that general area. I need to cut a hole to where I can put the lid on it and make a little trap door to where I can check the fluid. But I got a little short rod, actually the factory rod out of that 71C10 and factory master cylinder out of that 71C10 is what I used. Dual piston setup, front's running the front, back's running the back. It's actually mounted in there backwards to where the front of it is towards the back of the vehicle. But anyway, I got it all set up to where it works, and that just goes down through the floor and will connect to an arm. And I reinforced all that stuff, and I re-welded everything on the frame pretty much front to back. Just went through and redid everything. I need to get a black can of spray paint, and I'm just going to paint over everything that I welded black for now. And this winter, I'm going to have all winter to have this thing in the shop to do what I need to do and do it the right way. So I figured this winter I'll pull it all apart, completely down to the frame again, sand the whole frame down and clean it up and primer it, paint it, do everything right. If I decide to paint the body, which I'll probably paint the body, do everything right, paint the engine, paint the transmission, do everything the right way this winter when I'm not going to be able to drive it. Because right now I want to drive it. Like, I really want to drive this thing immediately. So I wouldn't say that I'm rushing stuff, but I am getting stuff done quick. So that's where I'm at. Also, this thing's in the shop because I think it's about to give up the engine. This is a good little engine. This is the one I just rebuilt again here a while back, and doesn't use a drop of oil. Uses a lot of gas, but doesn't use a drop of oil, and doesn't leak anything. It's got great oil pressure. Idle's good. I mean, great little engine. So yep, I'm going to take that engine out and I'm going to put it in that tea bucket. I am going to clean it up a little bit, probably, maybe not. I might just throw it in there just like that. I'll wash it after it's in there and running, and I can just drive it to the car wash and I'll spray it off. No, I don't know, but I'll probably clean it up a little bit. Not that good probably, because that engine needs to be in that tea bucket hooked to that transmission that's already in there. I'm going to go ahead and run it, see what happens. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Buddy of mine's got a flex plate and a torque converter, so he's bringing it down tomorrow. I will probably have to buy bolts, because the ones that's in this flex plate are going to be too long, or the ones that's in this flywheel are going to be too long to go in that flex plate, and I don't want to deal with spacers and messing with that kind of crap. So I'm going to have to go out and buy some flex plate bolts. And yeah, I don't know. That's I don't really have much more of an update video than that. I wanted to use the 5-speed. I actually had it figured out to where I had the clutch and the brake master cylinder and all that stuff, and I measured the bracket. Somehow it was a ½ inch off. What happened was I was using a different master cylinder for mock and nut purposes. And I didn't even, because the hole size was the same. The hole I needed was the same as this. So I used that to mock it up. Well, I marked everything with that. I didn't think about the bolt pattern on the Chevrolet Master Cylinder being like 1 inch wider, at least. So I had like 3/4 of a bolt hole on the metal, and like 1/4 of it was off the metal. And I probably could have welded a washer. I mean, it was only like right where it needed to have the bolt going through. It was right where the cut was. So I didn't want to mess with that. It ticked me off. So now that thing's going to be an automatic. Mainly because I don't want to have to cut another piece of metal. I don't have a plasma cutter. I don't have, you know, a hole saw. I don't have a lot of the right tools that I need because I can't afford them. Mostly because I'm always spending my money on trucks and stuff, but certain things I just can't afford, and I'm looking for the bracket to show you guys. Here it is. So when I need, actually, yeah, so I had this on one side and I had a master on the other side. But yeah, when I need a hole in something, like especially really thick metal like this, I made a hole in it. It might not be a perfectly round hole, but it was good enough. All I needed was a hole. I didn't need precision, because it mounts with bolts and you can drill them straight and it mounts it solid. Anyway, so what I do when I need to cut something that's thick, and I don't, you know, angle grinder ain't gonna do it, Sawzall might as well not even have a Sawzall, because I never have blades for it. As soon as I do get a blade, you cut like that much of a piece of something and they're dull. But yeah, I pretty much just crank that baby right up to 225 amps. That'll take me a welding rod. Like a 60-13 works good. A 70-18 lasts a little longer, but it's hard to get it to arc over. A lot of times I'll just knock the coating right off the rod and I'll just buzz a hole in that piece of metal. Or sometimes I'll leave the coating on the rod and I'll just, you know, you just poke a hole in it with the rod and then just start working your way out in a circle, and you can cut whatever shape you need to in a piece of metal with a welder. That's how I did this. And I mean, that take a grinder to it to knock the slag off after you're done, and you can cut a not too bad hole. I mean, it ain't straight, but you know, when you need a hole in something, you ain't got a plasma cutter and you ain't got a hole saw and you ain't got a drill bit that big, you know, use what you got. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble on this video, but I'm excited. I want to drive this thing, and I know everybody's going to be hating on me for putting a small block in it. Well, at least it's an awesome small block. But yeah, I don't want to have to go buy a Ford engine or find something out of the junkyard to do any of that crap. I want to take this engine, put it in there, and drive that thing. You know, if one day down the road I want to put a big block Ford or a Ford, no, I ain't ever putting a Ford engine in that thing. But anyway, I mean, it's going to have a GM engine, GM transmission, that's a GM axle. That's a GM steering column. Not a lot of Ford left here, you know. The frame ain't even Ford. The frame's like homemade. It's got a Ford front end on it. Ford brakes. No, that's 54 Chevy brakes. I think it's a, did he say 54 Chevy front end? I'm going to have to look at the text and see what front end that is and see, look, you know, see what, I don't even know what the hell I got, but anyway, yep, that's what's happening. So already got the hoist out, it's ready to rock and roll. I need to just tear the hood off this thing, take the carburetor off of it, radiator, all the front drives, and you know, water pump, harmonic bouncer, power steering, and yes, that thing is going to have power steering. And take all that crap and pull that motor out of there and just take it all apart and throw it in that thing. Should be cool. See y'all in the next video. I've already, you know, rambled too much. That's what happens when it's like 12:30 at night. I'm super tired, been up since, you know, too early, and I'm tired, I'm rambling, and I can't think straight. I'm going to bed. You guys take her easy. I'll see you in the next video.